Welcome to Newsmax TV. As the nation celebrates what would have been the 100th birthday of the beloved 40th President of the United States, we at Newsmax spoke with some very prominent conservative leaders about what Ronald Reagan meant to the country he loved so dearly and to them personally.
Every promise, every opportunity is still golden in this land. And through that golden door, our children can walk into tomorrow with the knowledge that no one can be denied the promise that is America.
Ronald Reagan's enduring legacy, love of country, love of family, and the belief in the power of the people.
Dad back 60s, 70s, and he was against the establishment, if you will, of his own party. He was not well liked by many people in it. So that's why I say, here was somebody who was like, he was Tea Party before there was a Tea Party out there. And
Mississippi Governor Haley Barbour was the White House political director under President Reagan.
What I think the biggest thing for Reagan is he changed the attitude of the country. He made it from the pessimism and malaise of Jimmy Carter to the optimism that it's morning in America. And then he did it with policies that worked.
Former Attorney General Edwin Meese was chief of staff to Ronald Reagan when Reagan was governor of California. He was chief White House policy advisor to Reagan as well as his personal friend. Meese says Reagan would read the letters from people down on their luck.
In both jobs, he many times had heard hard luck stories from people who had real problems, and he would try to help them in any way he could. As president, he would sometimes call an agency of the government that might be able to help them. Sometimes he would call friends of his. Sometimes he himself would donate money anonymously to people who needed some help.
Jeb Bush, a very popular two-term Florida governor, also knew Ronald Reagan personally. His father, former President George H.W. Bush, was Reagan's vice president.
Ronald Reagan, if he was president today or a candidate or was around today, he would be advocating positive proposals based on timeless American principles, conservative principles that were forward-leaning, that were related to the 21st century. He wouldn't be nostalgic, he wouldn't be looking back, he'd be looking forward with a hopeful, optimistic message.
We're in the midst of a springtime of hope for America. Greatness lies ahead of us.
It was that type of optimism and hope that Newt Gingrich embodied as a young congressman from Georgia and eventually as House Speaker.
Well, the greatest of Reagan's ideals was freedom. He spoke often about the importance of freedom. He spoke often about the importance of faith as the base of freedom. He said in front of the Berlin Wall that the wall will fall because the wall cannot withstand faith. The wall cannot withstand freedom.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
As America faces new threats from rogue nations like Iran and North Korea determined to acquire nuclear weapons, many are asking, what would Ronald Reagan do? Former Soviet President Mikhail Gorbachev, a one-time adversary turned friend who helped Reagan end the Cold War.
During his second term, he did a great deal in order to reverse the course on which the world was set and to move toward ending the nuclear confrontation, to start reducing nuclear weapons, and most importantly, to turn toward ending the Cold War.
I know many people will say it was the death of communism and the fall of the Berlin Wall, and absolutely from a policy standpoint, but I think the greatest contribution that Ronald Reagan made, which is a part of why the Berlin Wall fell and why the Eastern Bloc of communist nations couldn't hold up, is because he caused Americans to believe in America again.
It's morning again in America. And under the leadership of President Reagan, our country is prouder and stronger and better.
I think the foundation that Ronald Reagan had was this great belief in American exceptionalism. He knew that it started and it ended with we, the people. We were going to be different, more unique than any other nation because it was going to be about self-governance, and it wasn't going to be about growing government to rule us. It was going to be a self-rule by individuals because he had faith in the American public.
look what's over his gravesite. Talking about in every man there is good. Find it. And then people say, why is Ronald Reagan loved all over the world? because he found the good in everybody. He didn't look for the bad, he found the good.
Once you begin a great movement, there's no telling where it'll end. We meant to change a nation, and instead, we changed a world.